29th May 1660 was a very remarkable date in England's history, as this was the day when Charles II returned to London from France and ascended the throne of England. This day, the Restoration period started. So from 1660 to 1700 is known as the Restoration period, because before that, from 1649 to 1660, the 11 years, also known as interregnum or the Commonwealth period, was a very unstable period in England's history. Before that, from 1642, England saw three civil wars, and at the end of the Second Civil War in 1649, Charles II was executed. So there was a clash going on between the Roundheads, also known as the Puritans, Roundheads for their peculiar hairstyle, and the Royalists, the supporters of the monarchy, or also known as the Cavaliers. And in 1609, Charles I was executed, and his son Charles II tried to rule the country, but in 1651, he was exiled from England, and the Commonwealth period started, or the Puritans, led by Oliver Cromwell, he started to rule over England, and the monarchical period ended at that time. But people are not so happy because the Puritans were very strict by nature, the theaters were closed down. So, from literary point of view, there was a very dark period, the 11 years, or after 1651 till 1660. It was a very dark period. But after Oliver Cromwell, he ruled till 1658, and then his son Richard Cromwell, he took the handle from his father. But in 1660, 29th May, Charles II was called back from France, and he took over the throne. So that's why it is called the restoration of the Stuart monarchy, Stuart dynasty. Um, he was the ruler of the Great Britain, England, Scotland, and Ireland. And with him, the revival of the theatre also started. So it was also a restoration of dramas. So a lot of restoration tragedies started to be written, like Dryden. John Dryden was the royal poet at that time. So Dryden wrote many heroic tragedies, Tyrannic Love, The Indian Emperor, Aurangzeb, and Thomas Otway, The Orphan, Nathaniel Lee, Nero. So such kind of heroic tragedies with heroic themes are started to be written, and the most remarkably, the restoration of comedy of manners in drama. This is a kind of comedy that portrays the upper middle class society, the immorality of decent people, and William Congreve was the chief writer of this kind of drama. Is The Way of the World, the Double Dealer, this kind of dramas are very famous. And after him, William Wycherley came, and Etheridge, Farquhar. So they were the chief dramatists of this era. But in 1680s, another dispute started, just much before 1680, who would succeed Charles II, because Charles II had no legitimate successor, though he had many illegitimate sons, and one of them was Duke of Monmouth, who was very favorite with the masses, among the masses, and the king also loved him deeply, but he did not want to make him his successor. He wanted his brother James to be the next king, but there are many people who are against James. So, at that time, a controversy erupted, and the king told John Dryden to write something to settle the dispute. And John Dryden wrote the satire Absalom and Achitophel. So, the name of the characters Absalom and Achitophel are taken from Bible. He found an allegory of the same kind of situation. Uh, Here in England, Duke of Monmouth was actually provoked by Earl of Shrewsbury to rebel against his father so that he could make him the next king. And in Bible also, Dryden found the same kind of thing when King David's son Absalom was pursued by Achitophel to rebel against his father. So John Dryden wrote an absolute gem, the text Absalom and Achitophel. But in 1685, James II ascended the throne, and after 3 years, 1688, the glorious revolution took place. William and Mary were coronated, and with the consent that they would work with the consent of the parliament. And after that, the monarchy started to reign. So this was the Restoration period, the historical background of the Restoration period. Many critics thought that the Restoration period was from 1660 to 1688, but according to some literary greats, it was from 1660 to 1700 AD.